Hi everyone, this is Angelica. Thank you so much for watching today. Today's video is going to be about becoming clear on your mission, your purpose, what you're here to do. If you are going through a spiritual awakening, then most likely you have a mission, okay? You're being readied. You're getting ready to fulfill a certain purpose, a certain mission that you have agreed to do before you came here, because you're here volunteering to do work here on the planet. And I think it will help to make this video so that people going through the early stages of a spiritual awakening will feel more at ease and will feel better to know that if they don't know exactly what they're supposed to be doing yet, that information will become more clear as time goes on. And again, like in every video that I make, I will point out my own experience with this in hopes that you will be at ease, more comfortable and comforted knowing that if you don't have all the answers yet, it's okay, because I still don't have all the answers, but I feel a lot better than I did in the beginning, wondering why is all this happening. And, you know, even though I kind of always knew that I had a certain mission to fulfill here, I didn't really want to do it. I was like, I don't want to do this. Like, this is not, and even some days now, I'm like, you know, but it's much easier than it was in the beginning. So, again, I feel like if I talk about my own experience with this, that hopefully some of you can relate. Okay, so if you are going through a spiritual awakening, then you do have a special purpose, a special mission. Now, what is your mission? It's usually something, it usually falls into the category of something that makes you feel very excited, very happy. This is something that you're really, really naturally good at, and that you can usually catch people's attention when you do these things. So, and you may have more than one, and you don't necessarily have to integrate them all together, but you can at the same time in time. One of the problems I had with my mission is that I have lots of things that I love to do. So finding one thing that was being helpful for the time being and going with that has been more effective than trying to figure out how to do it all at once. Okay, so how did I know from my childhood or my early upbringing like what I would love to do or what I was good at naturally? Well, when I was a kid, I used to play school all the time. I loved being the teacher. And I still love being the teacher. And then when I was in college and I wanted to be a teacher, I realized that it just wasn't for me. Like the regular educational system and the ways that they teach people and what they teach people, I just would get into these, like, sometimes I would just always say, hey, look, you know, this information's not correct. You can't be teaching people this. So it didn't really work out for me. And I realized that I didn't want to be a regular teacher. But excuse me, when I was a kid, I am the oldest of 6. So my brother's the second oldest, and then after that, I have 4 younger sisters. I would make them all their desks, and I would sit them all down. My brother would never play. He did not want to be a student, so he didn't like regular school anyway. It was really hard for him to even get my mom to get him to go to school. I think boys are kind of like that because I have 2 boys, and I just remember being different when I was in school. I liked doing my homework and all that. But anyway, the point is I loved teaching even from a young age. So I would sit them all in their little desks. I would make up their little assignments on the paper, and I would pass out the papers. They would do the work, and then I would collect the papers, and I would, you know, check off what was wrong with the papers, and they would have to fix the answers. So from that, I realize now that I love teaching. And so that's what I wanted to do, and that's what I'm doing now. And I'm teaching about the things that I love, that I'm interested in, because I feel that the things that I teach are going to be way more beneficial for people than learning about a war that happened in whatever year it was, because all that stuff, all that information about the wars, they like try to like, you know, brainwash you or something. It's like this war and they fought this person and killed all these people, and it's like, whoa, wait a second. Like, okay, if that happened, then let's put that in the past. Can we now talk about what we can do in the here and now and in the future to create a more beautiful place here on earth? Hello, like, why are we talking about these wars, and why do we have to memorize the exact year that millions of people were killed in, like, you know, like, what's going on here? Something is wrong. Okay, we need to have schools that teach things that are actually helping and healing people in their lives right now. How are we going to make people happy? How are we going to live in a way that is good for everything and everybody, and there's nobody suffering, and we are all happy? Hello? Because I know my job here is not done, and I can never rest completely soundly until everybody on the planet is not suffering. And I know that sounds really weird, and I've tried to say, oh yeah, you know, I have to be happy, and I am. And I'm a lot happier than I used to be, because it used to be really overwhelming. But at the same time, my mission here isn't complete until there's no children that are starving. There's no children that are in situations where they're like all alone and they really need someone to be there for them, you know, that even adults have the education that they need to be happy and to live fulfilling lives, where there's no animals being tortured for the enjoyment of just somebody who wants to eat, you know, an animal. It's to me, I don't understand it. But even though I don't understand it, I do have compassion, and I do realize that people don't always come with that knowledge, and it's a process and it takes time. So, what is your mission? Okay? What are you here to do? That will come to you in little bits and pieces. Okay? I started reading certain books when I was 17, 20, 22. Then when I got to be about 25, 26, boom, I had the huge spiritual awakening and everything, and I went down. I went up, and then I went down. So I kept getting the information that I was here to do something to help, and I knew I had to. It wouldn't become clear. And it didn't become clear until my dark night of the soul, okay? And I had already hit the bottom, and I was like, oh my gosh, I cannot ever live the same way that I've lived before. At first I was like, yay, this is great, this spiritual energy. And then I was like, oh wow, this is heavy energy. I don't want to be here. But then I would just walk and walk, and that's when I got more information. The information came slowly. Like, it would come, and then something would say, take out a piece of paper and write down just these words. Write down, you know, health, healing, education, teaching. How do they all fit together? You know, and I would draw this picture of how they all fit together, and like, and then you try to take that and you try to put it into the practical world. So, so I was getting all these ideas about how to bring all these aspects of a person and all the, you know, the emotional, mental, spiritual, physical, all those things, bring them all together into one whole. What makes a completely whole person? All of these aspects. And that's always been my kind of basis since I've gone through my awakening. And that will expand more and more. But in 2009 is when I was just completely devastated. That's when I first moved here from Hawaii, and I did not like it here at all. And I just did not want to be here, but this is where I'm supposed to be, and I know that. But that is when I got the information from God again. When God speaks to me, it's just like I get the information and I'm supposed to listen. And it doesn't happen often at all. In fact, this might be the last time that I actually did hear from this voice. It was just very like, you need to listen to this. This is what you're supposed to be doing. And I don't, there's no way to know when this information will come to you. But I had been searching. Like, I really wanted to know, what am I supposed to be doing? I'm just aimless right now, kind of swimming in a sea of darkness, not knowing where I'm supposed to go or what I'm supposed to do. I know some of my traits that I'm good at, but I'm just like, what do I even do? How do I even begin to make this into something that makes sense? But I did get the information that I'm supposed to start a school, okay? And even now, okay, I'm not there yet and at all. I have a lot of the information, and I am working on the side to get something going, possibly like a nonprofit organization. But the thing is this mission that I have to start a school, and not only one school, but many schools, to teach the things that I believe are important that people should know about. That's my goal. That's my mission. That's my purpose. And so, as you can see, I have a long ways to go. But doing the YouTube videos and working with people on a one-on-one, counseling type situation, I've really understood more about the things that I'm supposed to be teaching. And not only that, it's given me a lot of experience in actually, teaching information. And so you never know where the road will go as far as your mission and purpose, is concerned, but you will be led to the correct things. So you can kind of let go of, feeling frustrated that you're not doing what you need to do right now, because there's a bunch of healing that has to take place on an inner level and an outer level. Now, healing really has to take place because if you are a sensitive type person and you've used drugs, marijuana, alcohol, cigarettes, caffeine, any of these substances, if you've used these in the past, your body's going to take a long time to heal. Not even necessarily your physical body, but your auric body, your etheric body. This has to heal because you've medicated yourself, and this could take a long time. This could take years, but in the process of healing, you will still be given information, but you have to understand that you have to heal so that you can fulfill the mission in a way that is actually beneficial to others. And so don't get frustrated if you're in a place of healing. Just keep putting the next foot in front of the other and slowly take your steps till you get there, because you will get there. And this is not an easy path. This is not an easy path. That's all I have to say. But you're a strong person, and that's why you decided to come here and volunteer, okay? And that might be, troubling to you, because it's been troubling to me. Some days I'm just like, well, you know what? I wish I would have never signed that contract because I want out of here. This is not for me. I do. It crosses my mind. But then I also realize that my little part in this big, huge thing is needed, and that even if I only help a couple of people, those couple of people could go on to help hundreds of people. You just never know the effect that you have. So you got to keep going. You got to keep listening to your intuition, and you write things down. If you get an insight that you're supposed to be, be a healer, then do the next step. Do the classes that you need to do, just to get your certification so that you could start up a little business. And start seeing clients. Or if you're a teacher, figure out little things that you can do in your community, to teach things or teach at your children's school, maybe art projects or something like that. There's always something you could do. You could even have like workshops and put them through the meetup.com, stuff like that. There's always something. So if you do have any comments or questions about this video, please leave them below. I hope that this video helped you. If you are having a lot of difficulty figuring out what your mission and purpose is, you can set up a spiritual guidance session with me. Oftentimes I'm really good at telling what people are good at and kind of giving them little ideas on how they can get started in that direction. So you can find my website below to set up that appointment if needed. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a beautiful day. Bye.